Yes, please.
Can you mention that as a best practice? No, it's your experience report. So,
yes, I have some videos, but also I will share something in the end of the...
You don't have to talk because they hear. I can, if I make the introduction, it's okay.
Yeah, okay. It's okay, everything.
Florea, who has been asked for many times, but somehow he couldn't make it because of other duties. But this year he is with us. And that is your first and your last. You know, you concentrate the 10 to 1. It's a pleasure to have you here, Professor Florea. And the specific issue which I like to mention is that I asked him, because we have been together in a project and we know each other since long, to make something like an experience report. Something to say, okay, what is your own perspective on this digital innovator, how you can build it, what is your experience and so on. And he accepted. Therefore, I'm very happy. The floor is yours. 1 hour.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Karagiannis. Dear colleagues, professors, dear colleagues from OMiLAB, Julia, Wilfried, and Christian, and other colleagues. Dear students, indeed, it is my pleasure to be here and an honor to be nearby colleagues, experts in modeling, but not only. And I agree with Professor Karagiannis, who invited me many times. And, you are happy at the beginning when you are invited, because you are honored in a way, but it's also a duty and a responsibility, if you accept it, to show something that comes from yours. So in the beginning of our collaboration, indeed, I didn't accept it because I didn't think I can show something or I can share something. You will see a little bit later which is my expertise. But also in the last period, I have also some summer school, and I understand perfectly your effort. And I want to say for the students especially, I don't know if you realize now, maybe also when you turn back home, how much you learn from this team or this summer school, because I realize in time what important is for me, few things or maybe many things that I learned from Professor Karagiannis and his team. I will mention today at least 2 things that helped me even in innovating. First of all, it was an invitation from his side in 2020 to write a position paper to Prof conference together with other colleagues that we didn't know each other, but he knows very well everybody from this team. Second, an important thing that Wilfried developed, guided by Professor Karagiannis, with this application about randomizing the place where you stay, because it's very, very important to create your own network for the future. Because you are now very good specialist in something to writing code, modeling, or other things. But when I was younger than you, I considered that mathematics, if I know mathematics, is enough. I was Olympics, I was to the national stage of Romanian Olympics in mathematics, modest one, the place 37 from 77, but probably not all people will arrive there. But it's important that not only mathematics helped me in my career, but of course mathematics is the queen of sciences. Okay. In the last time, as I said, I organized 2 summer schools with colleagues from Norway about modernizing agriculture practices in using Internet of Things, genetic algorithms or artificial intelligence. And I will explain a few things later. So indeed was a lot of duty for these things, but not because it's the last chance to come here, but any end will be another beginning, in my opinion. So we will continue probably to work together in projects and in other things. So for this reason, I choose to share a few of my things that I consider. But before, just to present myself, I'm professor in computer science at Lucian Blaga University of Sibiu, Romania. My domain, my PhD domain, and also my habilitation is in computer architecture, so designing 2 square centimeters, actually, but where are 50 billions of transistors on the 2 square centimeters. So we need to abstract. We cannot discuss about each transistor. But also I'm part of Advanced Computer Architecture and Processing System Research Center. Since 2019, I give a contest and I'm the leader of the Knowledge Transfer Institute entitled Hasso-Plattner from Lucian Blaga University. As some of you probably know, Hasso-Plattner was the co-founder of SAP. You know that you at least work with these figures, small characters. They are made based on SAP. Okay, I will tell you later that in 2019, I didn't know what means a knowledge transfer center or knowledge transfer institute. I thought that a research center or something like this, but I learned in time. Since 2022, I'm the vice president of Cluj IT cluster. Professor Buchmann is part of University of Babeș-Bolyai, who is member also like our university of Cluj IT, which is an organization based on at least 14 academic institutions, university especially, but also research centers, and more than 74 companies with IT profile, IT or engineering profile. And because we talk about innovation, also for 2-3 years ago, I'm an ambassador of Innovation Labs, a contest, a national contest that happened in Romania, also trying to show or to extract the best creative ideas which build further in any domain. Because Professor Buchmann showed yesterday about Cluj-Napoca, actually you can see Romania, where it's situated. From Sibiu, in the middle of Romania, I made around 8 hours by car. We have direct flight from Wien or from Munich to Sibiu. And as I said, we are surrounded by Carpathian Mountains and to Cluj-Napoca on the highway around 200 kilometers in less than 2 hours. It's a nice city, Sibiu. It's also surrounded by mountains. It's a middle-aged city where in 2007 celebrate European capital culture, but also in 2019 our president organized an informal meeting for heads of the state or the government, and the name of Sibiu has a German name. It calls Hermannstadt, the city of Hermann, and our president was for 12 years the Sibiu mayor and is a German person. So who knows German will be quite easy to be or to fill in Sibiu. Okay, just few things to understand the background of my presentation, because probably it doesn't fit very well with what you were used, at least I see these 2 days. And I appreciate very much the whole speakers from yesterday until now, and also later after me, because I saw few things that are connected with my work or things that happens also in my work. So the things are not, let's say, unique or isolated. So I'm not specialist in modeling. However, I'm work for a lot of time, more than 20 years, in simulation. In computer architecture simulation, because that was my background, but also together with Andrei, who is here, my PhD student, we work also in simulating car suspension systems, but also I'm working with prediction models based on neural network, based on time series, based on Markov predictors or prediction by partial matching, that we use not only in computer architecture, but also in prediction of energy consumption or production, which is a hot topic today because we can see what happened just because of an update of Microsoft system or software, but also what happened if we lose energy to solve many, many things. I'm also, let's say, more close to the third layer of OMiLAB tools, because you know all 3 layers: design thinking, conceptual modeling, and also cyber-physical system. I'm coming from engineering. And as I said, I'm more related with the interface between software and hardware, the main role of the compiler for helping architecture in order to obtain better performance, reduce energy, but also reduce the temperature in the chip and the die size. So this is my main focus, but in the last, let's say, 8-10 years, I was working in some projects about embedded systems, about smart city, and as I said, about modernizing some practices in agriculture, using Internet of Things, helping or creating a digital farmer solution, but also using artificial intelligence like neural network or genetic algorithms for training neural networks to predict wine fermentation, white wine fermentation, when it's important to stop the fermentation because the alcohol will increase too much or other things. So I had no idea until a few years ago about what means innovation, what means knowledge transfer. So I understand later that it's very, very important to know about research, development, and innovation, and create the knowledge transfer based on the very good brains in industry, or not only industry, but in different processes from industry, agriculture, or administrative processes that you show some of you today. And why I think this is important? Because you are very good, very skilly writing programs. But as I said, tomorrow you will become the digital innovator. You need to see holistic a problem, from where to start and how or where to improve. So it needs a mindset. What I say here is based on my experience with my students. I don't want to feel somehow different, just is my experience that we need improving skills about this. Innovation and many other, let's say, words became not only keywords, but buzzwords. Everybody in Romania a few years ago knows many things about football, agriculture, or many other things. But this is the reason, because everybody knows about everything. We are in the end places in many ranks at agriculture or football. So this is important to see that we will see a different cluster of innovation. Some ranks created by European Commission, where you can see also some indicator that we need to tackle in order to improve. And as I said, put effort in developing innovation skills for our students. I will show, because Professor Caragiani said, some best experience, best practices, using also OMiLAB tools in agriculture or industry, because Sibiu has or is an industrial city. Many large companies like Continental Automotive, like Marquardt Schall System, like NXP Semiconductors, but also some software company like Visma or Entity Data are located in Sibiu, and many of our engineers or our graduates from engineering faculty find places in these companies. And what I want also to mention, I said a few things. What key action could we do as a higher education institution? And at least from my experience, I was involved in innovation labs or hackathons, stimulating students to come with their own idea, to be creative and to learn also from team leaders, from companies, to apply in different contexts their ideas, their solution, but also to see the business perspective of their solution. We organize a very important event, probably I will show also a little bit later, entitled Sibiu Innovation Days. This is a conference that we will broadcast live, and sometimes maybe you could come in Romania to participate as a speaker or only to on-site participant, where are coming companies and academia environment to discuss about potential solution, potential projects where they can see from others. Also, this summer school, as I said, we organize an MAP, IoT, or NEMO, or IT summer school that are organized by another organization where my university is part, entitled Sibiu IT Cluster. So, what is important, because few things about this I will show you, to find and to develop an innovation environment or innovation ecosystem, but based on some resources, some design thinking centers or maker spaces. In our case, we have the pleasure and the help of OMiLAB since at least 2019, when we worked together in the Digital Design Skills for Factory of the Future, an Erasmus project based on knowledge alliances, and where Wilfried and his colleagues come and install the whole OMiLAB in Sibiu, and from that we start to develop further. This CoDEMO project that you can see here is also the next step based on the strong collaboration between OMiLAB and ULBS. And also at this conference, Sibiu Innovation Days, this year we will organize together with Marquardt some workshop where together with OMiLAB, ULBS and Marquardt, we will show solution to improve, let's say, the resilience in some application like computer vision for recognizing some defects in different spare parts, or also to improve the software deployment on a large scale in many tools. And here, but I will come back later, I hope to have a little bit of time to show either some videos, but also I put some resources, that means also scientific papers that we publish, or PowerPoints about this, or even some, let's say, training courses that we developed around some important things. And just to mention, it's about workplace safety. It was an idea that started in 2020 when it was the pandemic time. And it was very important to see the temperature of the people, but more than that, to see if you are in a civil engineering or in another industrial shop floor, to have the equipment on you, to have your the vest and other things to see if it is okay. And we use OpenCV, and we use also neural network algorithms that we combine together, and many other things, but maybe a few things later. Also, we have some ideas about what means an AGV in an industrial shop floor, because this AGV should carry heavy things. And we model some prototypes using MBOT mobile robots to carry from one place to another, and there a robotic arm to download or to load the carriage. Because we talk about smart city, we know that everywhere is a problem parking. So parking could take a lot of time, but a lot of energy, and we try to simulate such a situation. But also, because in a shop floor, because I mentioned, could appear two AGVs who have the same priority and could collide each other and block themselves. And how to go inside and to prioritize who needs to go farther or not, or who need to stop. Also, other application about modeling and automation process used in food industry. We have a good faculty about food engineering and agriculture, and where is produced different recipes about bread, about chocolate, about other things, but we use modeling, my colleagues, not only me, to model such a factory of chocolate. If we talk about warehouse, where we can have different stock of the pieces of the spare parts, or different fruits, if it is a warehouse for fruits, for example, a mobile robot could go and read from each place which quantity, which type of product is, and add in a database when you have the stock of each product. Also, I will show, if it is time, few things about digital farming and how we use not only sensors and IoT, but also some API about weather forecast in order to start irrigation or not. If it is necessary to start irrigation, or because in an hour will start raining, it's better to wait a little bit, wait a little bit, wait a little bit, and if the prediction is wrong, to try to then start. So we use also fuzzy rules for these things, and we have this, let's say, scheduling for irrigation, and also automated solution, even if you are away, all connected to a Tuya nursery in our condition. And different things, as I said, about prediction of wine fermentation, and solution about monitoring air quality in an indoor or outdoor environment. Now, I just want to say, or to ask, because it's very difficult to put a presentation after the lunch. This was the reason that I skipped today, because I don't want to sleep myself here. But it's difficult also in the morning, because everybody comes tired. So I put few questions which I want to, or question or topics that I want to discuss a little bit later. Do you know some tools or some metrics used to measure innovation?
First thing that comes to mind is profit.
It's an economical side, the profit, yes. Because also an idea is about digital transformation. We see everywhere discussion, but I don't know, not here, but outside, who knows exactly the differences between digitization, digitalization, and digital transformation, creating structure or business structure from something. You know, that there are also changes that we need to apply. This is good, but it's not enough. There are 32 indicators proposed by European Commission to measure such things. Even human capital, you here are part of innovation. Winning or making a PhD, succeeding and hiring means also an indicator of innovation. So it's very important to know where we are good or where we are not so good, to change or to improve, to see which are the, let's say, your, not incentives, your tools to solve the problem. I will show immediately, because the European Commission creates 4 large categories of innovators. So based on their indicators, how much are good comparing with the European average, we can see if we are strong, or we are innovator leader, or we are emerging innovators. And I will show a few things about, a few features about that we consider when discuss about European Innovation Scorecard. Yes, I have also the link, maybe a few things I will show, but everybody could reach to them, and also I'm happy to share my email or my slides, because I improve the slides based on every colleague that presents something, comes to my mind few ideas and I put it there, and it's not the last presentation. So could be some metrics, some tools like European Innovation Scorecard, but also which is the influence of digitalization in economic sector. I think everybody, at least young generation, but even us, don't have patience to wait for every paper that we want to download immediately based on a request, no? But this is not happen in many of the administration processes or other things, so it's very difficult. So, also will be some regional innovation scorecards. I will show you briefly about what happens in Romania. So, there are categories like innovation leaders who has a scorecard higher than 125% comparing with the European Union average. Strong innovators who are based from 100% to 125%. Moderate innovator between 70 to 100%. And emerging innovators, where I'm part of it, unfortunately. Okay. And there are, as I said, 32 indicators that are considered. As I said, briefly, the domain, human resources and intellectual assets. How many intellectual property, not only you, let's say, propose and are recognized, but how many you use in an industrial process or in something, yes, to innovate not only a product, but also in a process. How attractive is the research system? As I mentioned before, Professor Karagiannis helped us to publish a paper together. This is also an indicator that means how many foreign collaboration are between countries or higher education institutions. This is very important. Why? Probably I go further. I forget to say. I'm not a creative guy, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I cannot be an innovator. For this reason, said that somebody who knows to do will do, who doesn't know to do will teach others to do. I'm the second part. But it's a joke, but the problem is that the progress or the creativity could come by cross-fertilization of ideas from domain. I don't know if you know, I discuss about prediction structure or mechanism. One of the predictors used with success from the last period is a neural network predictor using computer architecture. This idea started in 1999. A professor of mine died, unfortunately, 5 years ago. Professor Vințan comes with the idea to replace some existing memories with neural network, multi-layer perceptrons. Why? Because this could compute the prediction, not necessary to store. Because storing is important and, let's say, quick to obtain, but you don't have enough memory to reach many or larger context of information that could help the prediction. So in a neural network, you don't need to use such a huge things because, so this was an idea about cross-fertilization between artificial intelligence with computer architecture. Or Markov predictors are used also in the finding the cells, cancer cells or other things that could be based on patterns that are repeated, and to see what happened after, let's say, a very frequent pattern. Many things. So for this reason, I want to say that cross-fertilization of ideas could come and bring innovation. For this reason, it's important to have collaboration between colleagues, between you, because somebody, design thinking session, when everybody is free to emit some idea. Could be good or not, but finally you will raffinate this idea and go further to see later. Okay, digitalization and the use of information technologies, the financial support, as your colleague said, and the investment of companies, but also of the public sector in R&D solution. And also how many small and medium enterprise use innovation in their activity, and how many employers are hired just to do innovation. There are indicators, larger indicators, yes? And as I said, unfortunately, I will show you this slide and then turn back. Romania is at the end of the rank. It's not okay, but the first situation is to understand the problem. Then to see how to tackle the problem to improve or to do something better. So the idea about innovation is that there are large imbalance between companies. We said about brilliant solution in IoT in agriculture, but there are countries that don't have enough broadband penetration and how to collect data without network, without internet. No? The solution is good, but we cannot spread everywhere. There are geographical barriers. There are sometimes social barriers in applying few solutions. So, European Union, let's say, idea was that increasing or applying innovation could help the economy sector. And boosting the territorial innovation could come looking to better solutions from others. If there are good solutions in some places, go back, go to your home and see why I cannot do this to myself, or how to customize this solution, because this solution brings benefits, social, economic, or others, but it's very good. Okay, one solution doesn't fit all, but tailor a little bit could help in your activities. So, okay, this is, as I said, a map similar with the previous one, but this is, let's say, the actual, with ranking the countries. And what I want to say, there are some activities that show improvement. Many of these, let's say, rank shows comparing with 2017 or the last 5-7 years. And there are, everybody can see some improvements, but it's not enough. It's like in a competition, when you are walking, another guy running. You need to keep the pace with this. So for this reason, it's very important. Just to see if it works, I think yes. Just to see, because to don't think that it's just pictures, there are a few things that could be used. You can choose from framework condition, that means framework meaning human resources, meaning digitalization, and population with tertiary education. As I said, look, 0. 0 is not okay at all. How many PhD finish and work then in research, but not only, but making a PhD. Of course, in IT domain is very difficult because companies want to motivate you more. But sometimes it's better, or in other domains. Here, lifelong learning is very important. Every institution try to put the skills yours, because you are younger and you can do many things. But there are people like me who are not at the end of life, no, and need to be up to date or upskilled to new situation, no. So this is very, very important. Okay. Other also investment in education, investment in R&D about small and medium enterprise. Here also, where is okay or not. Where Romania looks relative okay is a digitalization, but at broadband penetration. You know, if you build a house today, definitely will be better than your friends that built yesterday, because you see what doesn't work, how large should be the pipes, how many tailor the, I don't know, for energy, putting some renewable energy panels, another solution that your colleagues yesterday didn't do. No? So this is somehow understandable because appears relative later in the last time to increase the broadband penetration. But digital skills of the population is relative low. So, okay, this is also some rankings between Romania, what happens there. There are 7 regions, the same problem, unfortunately. How can we boost the regional innovation? As I said, try solution based on your skills or your virtues, let's say. Or so, how to digitalize some sectors in. What about role of this Knowledge Transfer Institute is to create a bridge between universities and companies, and also it is a win-win process. If institution will produce graduates that cannot hire, it's not useful, no? But also we need to have good ideas about what to apply. And also these collaborative networks for replicating the best solution. Regarding our Knowledge Transfer Institute was created, as I said, based on collaboration between and the donation of Hasso-Plattner Foundation, and start to help, let's say, companies, but also public municipalities with some projects, with some solution, and also these companies help university increasing the resources, the hardware and physical. There are some pictures that are from our OMiLAB lab from Sibiu, where we also have some trainings. We have also visited from different teams of professors from Cambodia or from Asia that want to implement such solution to their countries. Also, a few ideas about the algorithms that we use, and I talk about workplace safety projects, but also papers that we published together on previous project and this conference. For example, this year, we discuss at the conference about emerging technologies. We will have speakers about quantum computing and quantum information. We will have workshops about blockchain and applying blockchain, or educate young generation about using blockchain. But also green digital transition, artificial intelligence, and education upskillings and other things. How we did, or what we need to do further, is to continue this collaboration with national or international teams in writing and applying to projects. I don't know how many of you are involved in a European project, but the success rate is around 1 to 10. Writing 10 projects and winning one. For example, this year I had the chance, of course, I wasn't alone, but we win a Horizon Europe project with University of Agder and other European countries, but it was one of the 6. Other 5 lose. So what means this? With everything is made by money. Even this participation is not free, because there are some infrastructure, there are some people, there are food, there are other things. Also with the projects, you as a PhD student need to disseminate your activities. You need to go to conference. You need to publish in open access journal. That means money. So European Commission or other institution, let's say, propose or help us writing good projects and working together. So here are some of them that I explained, are different or a different domain where our university is involved. Some topics like robotics, artificial intelligence, IoT, there are things that we are working on, energy efficiency and circular economy, not only in research, but also in developing some training materials. As I said, upskilling the young generation or for long life learning. Okay, few of the results about what we did also. There are some catalyzer actions for students. As I said, about innovation labs or hackathons or programming contexts developed together with the help of the companies. And also, at these hackathons, we try to stimulate young generation. With the help of sponsors from companies, we generate some awards, such that everybody will go home to be happy to receive something and, let's say, discuss and stimulate others to participate. And below, there are titles of workshops that we developed together with Continental, Marquardt, Multiversix, or together with Marquardt and OMiLAB. So there are, let's say, targeted the automotive domain, but not only the automotive domain, and also blockchain education, as I said. Together with companies, we try to, let's say, involve trainings, vocational trainings, but also to have internships. Probably you know, in this moment, the IT market reduced the number of internships. As Professor Karagiannis said, there are interests, but probably the creme de la creme. So not everybody could reach, but based on such internship, you will learn, you will enlarge your vision. We had some visits in companies, in projects, together with colleagues. It was the previous project entitled DigiFof, as I said, Digital Design Skills for Factory of the Future. And it was a visit in Continental. But here, we have a visit to a farm from Norway with my students, where they use computer vision algorithms to sort the potatoes. Because it was bad times, I was to help my parents, I don't know, 40 years ago, to take the potatoes and put the largest in one basket, the smallest is for seeding, or in another basket, and one for pigs to eat. So we split it manually. Here was all automatically. Yes, and also it is a pipeline. I have some movies also put it on a LinkedIn that show automated supply, how to are enveloped, and also put it directly to the market who want to buy. So people or young generation could see some example, and based on what you see, your ideas are coming. Of course, we are going to the 5.0 generation. It's not enough digitalization, even help a lot. But everybody needs to think to be resilient. We saw the COVID, what happens. For us as teaching in IT, wasn't too difficult because we changed from simulators directly to online teaching. But were other people who were teachers of different topics, cannot be easy with Teams, with Google Classroom, with Moodle or other things. So it's neat, but in industry, if something happened, could affect a lot. So there are things that we need to take into account. And I comes again to these resources. There is not enough time. But as I said, briefly, for example, I have videos, PowerPoints, and other things, because I don't like to talk about ideas where I was not involved. I was involved to try to do something. There are good papers, there are moderate papers, but that were cited by others. That means help a little bit in some ideas for others. So, I don't know, just pick one and I can show you a short video for 2 minutes because I see the time, but because I have also a last slide or 2 slides final. The best one. The best one, I cannot say you. No, let's say one of the latest, for example, was the digital farming where we work because this E7, yes, okay. Yeah, for this reason, I said that first of all, just to come here. More than that, some of the ideas was published in IET journal in cyber physical theory and application, but let's go to see a little bit which is the, not this. This is just part of how it works. Actually, you know, in every project it's important to disseminate, because if you don't show that your solution could be scalable to others, it's not useful. So one idea was that I start from a colleague of mine who has a tuya nursery where she starts every day to irrigate. She had, you can see tubes. There are 6 tubes, 50 meters length, And every day she starts irrigating. The problem was that if you don't know it's enough water, it's less, it's too much, if you are going from home, you are in a holiday, who will take care? There are a lot of problems. And together with a student of mine, actually, we automated this first, measuring how much water was inside and using some sensors of humidity from the earth, then use the API of the weather forecast to see when will start the rain, if it is necessary to use irrigation or to wait at least 1 hour, 2 hours to see what happened. And based on our results, we saw that in the hottest day of the summer, and the problem is that day by day, the temperature, the maximum temperature increased all over the world. Yes, I use the backup to know when to stop. The problem was that it was a quarter of the necessary of water that should be using just manual. So it was very hot, and we need to, until the sensor said that is enough water. But more than that, we developed a web application useful also for mobile or on computer, where you can set the irrigation time and when to start. And all pipes are now commanded automatically by a relay, I don't know how to say, a relay, I don't know. Andrea, maybe you help me. How? Relay. That are starting automatically and don't need your help. So this was done practically, but also, of course, in a scientific paper, we need to, defend all other papers and to show the gain that based on our paper we can do. So there are, as I said, few of some activities just to finish, and as I said in a break or later by email or other things, I'm happy to share what we did together at Sibiu. Few of the results that, of the Knowledge Transfer Institute, some proposal about who need to regulate or to help increase or boost the innovation. Could be government, but if you are rely on the government, you will lose a lot of time. Try on your let's say forces at least, but use some clusters, use university, use company, use combination. All that Professor Karagiannis said or developed here is based not only by experts. These experts are part of his network, people who trust in each other and build in time. So otherwise stay on the government and never happen nothing. And hopefully you will come as a mentor in Sibiu after 5 years. It's not so much. It takes 10 before. And also thanks, my participation here is paid by CoDEMO project, so it was my pleasure to be here, Professor Karagiannis, again.
Thank you. I would like to say something before you start with questions. You recognize why you need to know what is an IP address. Okay, you saw, on the video, you saw that if you like to get a digital leader, you have to know what is an IP address. I recognize that some of you come for the business schools or whatever they call you, you have no idea what is an IP address. Okay, wake up. So far, my recognition. Then, questions to Professor Florea. Please.
Thank you for the presentation. So, in this presentation, there are many agricultural projects. So, my question is like, have any of these projects you tackled the data anonymization or the privacy concerns? And also, which kind of model or recent things you have using And the second part is like recently the federated learning, like the computation in the client side and the data is coming to the central system. So any of your projects is using the federated learning or the decentralized systems to secure more data?
Let's start with the first because the second I forget it, or I heard a few things. I presented here some projects, but for example, regarding data protection, we work in a project with Continental about attrition risk. Attrition risk for a company in a human resource is important to don't lose your best people from your company. And we have, for example, some crawlers where we see all announcement about new jobs, because if you are unhappy, you will apply probably. Second, we made a lot of KPI, use a lot of KPI indicated by human resource, by the different layers of the companies, about your performance to compare your pattern of activity with the people who left the company. Because if it is a match, is large chance tomorrow you will go in another place. So we want to reduce this attrition risk. And there, definitely, we have sensitive data. But that was together with Continental, who anonymized data, and it was not important who belongs this data. That was an ID, no matter, it's important just to see if there are some patterns that are repeated. This is one example. Another example was about air quality, for example. Our idea was not, in Romania, for example, there are some fixed stations for air quality monitoring. But this station was now 70 years ago installed. And there are in our county, there are 4. And they are not relevant for what happened now, because also the industrial part became a campus and we need to put with a fine-grained solution to see how poor is air quality here, there, and for a large part. And the idea, our idea was to have a crowdsourcing. Use your phone or use your car, install a chip, and send data about air quality, not others. And people were rejected to do this. We wanted to do for the city hall, because you use the car from the companies and use the phone from the car. But no, because it's important to don't have or to have a data protection. But we didn't need this. Regarding workplace safety, we have the idea start from a startup from Portugal, where they see how much you consume the advertising. If you like an advertise to Johnny Walker, for example, I drink, or Uzo or other, I will, if I like the advertise, I will buy 1, 2, or 3 bottles. And to see if you like, if it is a correlation between consumption and public advertising. So, I was to a large supermarket in Romania. The guy from marketing was very excited. Oh, don't use such of marketing. Use digital marketing. Very nice. We will call you. After 1 month, the project was blocked because the legal department said it's not allowed to see people's face. But they didn't ask, because we don't keep the people's face. We just take the mood. If you are happy, you have a form. If you are sad, you have a different form. So they didn't discuss how to. So there is a lot about this aspect to discuss or to convince that your idea could lead to a success. But it's difficult to, let's say, this will work, you know. But we can discuss also later.
There's no question. So I have some suggestions for you. It's just a humble suggestion. So you can also integrate photovoltaic on the agriculture field, because it's good for optimization of the agriculture water, and it would be a good example to show the water, food, and energy nexus. So, this suggestion.
First of all, regarding agriculture, there are many aspects that we can optimize. Even the supply chain, because starting from a product until the market will be a lot of logistics things that you can optimize. I'm also expert in evolutionary algorithms. I work with optimization and genetic algorithms and others. So there are, yesterday our colleague discussed about vehicle routing problems, and a lot of clients or many problems or different views of the same problem. But regarding water and energy, the solution could be applied for each, let's say, each farmer. I was in Norway and I saw there are not empty places. There are no human there. There are autonomous tractor that works and drones or other things to irrigate or to do things. So the technology could help a lot. Depends to see more, to come some ideas, as I said, cross-fertilizing ideas, because otherwise you will be only in your problem, know only mathematics, as I said, but nothing more beside. You know, this is my idea.
Then, thank you very much.